Hi, it's Andrew Anable with Safeguard Investment Advisory Group. I'm a registered investment advisor. I've been doing this now for 26 years. What I've really focused my career on is helping pre-retirees and retirees not just build, but protect what they've been working so hard on over the years. We get a lot of people these days coming into the office and they're asking, is this the right time to do a Roth conversion? I understand why they're asking this question. I mean, let's face it, they're thinking about taxes, future taxes. Our country right now is, last time I checked, over $30 trillion in debt. When we think about it, it really doesn't matter who's running things in the future. I think everybody's going to be under the same pressure, and we kind of have to assume that taxes are most likely going to go up. When you do a Roth conversion, really the idea behind it is you're trying to save on taxes, not today, but in the future. My father, let's take for instance him. My dad, he's 82 years old. He spent his career at Lockheed. And he did what he was taught, which a lot of us were taught. And that's, go get a job, work real hard, spend your lifetime at that career, put away into the IRA every year, or the 401k, or whatever the company offers you. Do that, be diligent, try to buy a house, and pay that off over 30 years. And when you hit around 65, the goal is to be in a position to retire. And you start drawing Social Security, which sounds great. And then for a little extra income, you've got that IRA account, that 401k that you've been putting money away into. And just so we're clear on how that works, the government is actually incentivizing us to contribute to these plans. The way they do that is as you contribute to the plan, it's pre-tax money. So you've never paid tax on those earnings. So it's growing compound over year after year after year. And it's not uncommon today now that when somebody retires, they have $1 million sitting in their IRA, sitting in that 401k. Sounds great, right? How can this go wrong? Well, if you take a close look at this, you're going to find that, from a tax strategy standpoint, if you had kids, they should be gone by now, living their own lives, so you've lost that write-off. Home ownership, you were able to have a write-off there for a lot of those years. Well, the home's paid off right now. So you are in that position now that when you do start drawing out of this IRA, things are kind of flipped on you. And as the dollars come out of the IRA, they're taxable, 100%. Every penny you take out, it's taxable as ordinary income. And so there is this concept that, we want to continue saving on taxes. And so, let's not just start drawing it all out. Because let's face it, if you see maybe an investment property you want to buy, or maybe your dream vacation home on a lake somewhere, if it costs $1 million and you were to pull $1 million out of your IRA, you've got a problem because, depending on which state you're in, after taxes, you'll be lucky to receive $500,000. So most people, what they end up doing in that situation is they slowly draw off of that IRA. Because what we're finding with a lot of our clients now is when they do go into a retirement, their income is actually risen. And the other thing we have to look at is, again, we're $30 trillion in debt. And so a lot of people are operating and planning on the fact that the tax brackets will go up. So wouldn't it be great if that $1 million IRA that you have wasn't taxable? So that's really the goal here, right? And that for a lot of people out there, that's called a Roth IRA. And so it's kind of the opposite. When you're putting dollars into the Roth IRA, whether they're contributions or conversions, that money is actually after-tax money. But the advantage, again, is that the Roth IRA is going to then be tax-free when you start pulling the money out. The other thing I want to really make sure we look at is, again, part of this system, these IRAs that we have, these 401ks that we have, if you ever really examine the way the government has set this up, they've got all kinds of rules and regulations we have to follow. So again, for my dad, he's putting in money, right, throughout his whole career. If he had asked to take money out prior to being 59 and a half, you would have had to pay a 10% penalty on top of paying tax on the money. So he wouldn't have wanted to do that prior to 59 and a half. And with the rules today regarding the required minimum distributions, they are at 72 years old now. So the government actually steps in and you are required to start extracting your money out of the IRA. Now, I guess you don't have to, but if you don't start taking it out, the IRS does have a penalty for you. It's actually a 50% penalty. Yeah, you heard me right. It's the largest IRS penalty that I'm aware of, 50% if you don't take your minimum required distribution out. So step back and think about this. You've got basically handcuffs before 59 and a half, 72 and a half, you also lose control. We have a window in the middle there. And when it comes to, windows, we really need to take advantage because often windows end up closing. And so this is where, if you are in your 60s, your early 70s, it's really essential that you look at and you understand the mechanics of potentially doing a Roth conversion. One of the biggest reasons you want to do that is it puts you in a position going forward where you have future tax rate hike, future tax law immunity. And that really is what we're trying to do. So please, take a close look. You want to meet with your advisor, meet with an independent advisor. If this is something you haven't looked at, doing a Roth conversion, it's something you don't want to miss. Let's face it, what we're really trying to do is avoid mistakes. I always say there's no do-overs when it comes to your retirement planning. So for those who are interested in maybe getting some more information, taking a closer look at should you be considering doing a Roth IRA conversion right now, go ahead and hit the link. We'll be glad to send you some more information. You can also hit the like and subscribe. And thank you everybody for spending the time with me. Have a wonderful day.